Greetings, my lovelies, and thank you for stopping by today. Yes, I know that I have been gone for a few months. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just had to give up for a while. As many of you know, I also work as a teacher, and anyone in that profession can tell you it's exhausting as fuck. And work-life balance is kind of a generalized issue across the board. So I needed to set some things aside and just sort of stop them for a while until I felt like I could get my feet back underneath me again. And that just so happened to be this channel and my writing. But things are slowing down. We just got done with our spring break, so I actually feel like a normal human being and not like a robot for once. So I figured, what the fuck, let me go ahead and get started on with some new stuff. This is my second time making this type of a video because I did make one like a month ago and I never did the second part of it. Thank you, ADHD and other things. And I can't really hold myself to the things that I said in that last one, so I'm just redoing it. C'est la vie. So let's just go ahead and get on with this video, which is basically a little informal, sit down, let you know what's going on, what I have been working on, and what's going to happen in the future. So let's go. So first things first, the third book of A Tale in Blade and Darkness is nearly complete. I am in the final act. I am roughly about 15,000 words away from the end of the book. We are into the climax. The first half of it, the first act and the second act have already been revised, edited by me, and now they're off to the editor. I had originally intended to have this book out in the end of July. I don't think that's gonna happen anymore because I haven't done the title release or a cover release or updated anything of that or done like zero effing marketing, and I don't want to just dump this into the wild blue yonder and hopefully garner some traction. So I'm going to give myself a couple of extra months to kind of handle that process because you really do need about a good solid at least 3 months of marketing and generating interest and developing the content that you need to market. And I really want to give this book the time that it needs and not just rush. You know, and the one thing that's wonderful about being an indie author is that I have that control. I can basically sit down, look at what I have going and go, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to push this back a couple of months. So to the people and my lovely readers who have been like harassing me to hurry up and finish this book, I'm so sorry, don't kill me, but do you want a good product or do you want a shitty product? Be on the lookout for other content relating to The Tale of Blade and Darkness, book 3. As it comes out, I promise I will start picking up and speeding up again. So while I haven't been writing, I've also been, that doesn't necessarily mean that I haven't been doing anything, because I don't know how to stop. I just know how to put down a project and pick up a new one. A few years ago, I stumbled across bullet journals, and if you've been anywhere on YouTube or Instagram or hell, even TikTok, you will see people doing these Bojo pages. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, bullet journaling was devised as a way for ADHD people to kind of like manage their days in a way that's structured but not structured, and people have kind of just taken it and run with it and the way they do, and it's basically just adorable. You can create it as cutesy or as minimalistic as it is. It's highly, highly specialized, as in like whatever works for you, that's how you make your journal. And if it doesn't work for you, then you don't need to include it. So when I first started doing them, I did a kind of more like a fitness thing and a health thing, and I realized I am not a good daily tracker. And so then I kind of changed and evolved into something that is akin to a reading journal where I make these collages about the books that I read, talk about things that I like about them, things that I didn't like about them, track my reading process, because I don't necessarily like setting goals, but I do like to track my progress, and a writing journal. So this has become a thing where I track my daily word counts, info dump a lot of things of like, hey, this is an idea I want to keep out. It's kind of like a organic breathing book Bible, I want to say, because that's really the only term that I can think about it, because it holds everything. Not everything comes to fruition. I also put things in there like marketing and timelines and just sort of things that kind of help to keep me in check and keep me on track. So I've taken all of that with the moderate success that I've had with it, and I made one. It is called the Chaotic Plancer, and it is a name that I've loved so much that I am just adopting it everywhere. So most of my socials will be changing to the Chaotic Plancer, and yeah, oh well, it's mine, I love it. Anywho's, it is basically a comprehensive guide of writing, from writing conceptually your ideas, your characters, world building, yada yada yada, tracking all of your writing progress, how do you set writing goals, to marketing. Well, not necessarily marketing, but more or less the publication process. So just imagine like the various videos I've had up here on the publication process, the generalized overview of things, and it's more condensed into a very condensed book that, you know, is that you can also use as a bullet journal. I created the pages and the spreads for it. It's broken up quarterly. It is written neutrally enough to where I hope that anyone can pick it up at any given time and use it. And of course, it's going to eventually become an entire series. Because why not? I don't do anything by halves. No, I don't. Another thing that I've had to put kind of on the back burner that's going to get started back up again is my news. The newsletter only comes out quarterly, Jesus Christ. It fills you in on what I've been doing, kind of things that I have that are going on that I haven't quite talked about yet. And when you do sign up, you will get a free downloads of the character sheets at this time. I have the one for the good guys and the bad guys. Print off as much as you want or as little as you want. It is really up to you whether or not you use them or not. So that's pretty much all that I have to talk about with you guys today. In the flavor of being chaotic and just kind of doing a little bit of everything, I am going to probably transition right onto my bullet journal that I'm using. It is a beautiful blackout, one that was given to me by my lovely friend Amy, and I have been waiting since last year to do it. I tend to start in January, although I think going forward I will probably start one with each new book, because right now I'm kind of balancing them between this one, which is 22s, and then this one. Not that it is something that I intended to do, it's just kind of how it ended up. So I think that's kind of how I'm going to do them going forward, is new bullet journal for each new book that I am doing. So let's go ahead and get on with that then. Okay, so I had lied. I could not figure out how to record this thing as I was doing it to save my life. So if anyone has any recommendations on how to set up their filming system so that I can do this, please and thank you, because it was practically impossible. Although now that I'm sitting here, I think I figured it out and I'm like FML. Anyways, going through the bullet journal. All of my images I found off of Pinterest. I really, and in all honesty, can't remember all of the artists that I found them from. I'm borrowing them. It's for my own personal use. I like it. My quote for this year was "A world wrapped in flesh and bone," because that is essentially what writing is. And again, sorry for any shadows or weirdness. I don't care about keys, whatever. Yep. So this page is my wishes and goals and things that I would like to do for the year. I only give myself 3 because in all honesty, I know myself. Here is my reading log. I don't necessarily care about the titles of the books because I'm going to talk about those later when I do my reviews. But I was just kind of curious as to the type of books that I read the most often. So blue is physical, orange is manga, green is ebook, and pink is audio. And I had to shift with some of my colors because the pens that we had sucked. Over here, I have a little Dutch door that is my DNFs, and I did write that down so I wouldn't forget to not have to do one of these. And so far, I really have only not finished 2, which is not bad. So at the beginning of the year, I drew 2 cards that were just gonna kind of be like what I needed to keep in mind for this year. So it's basically just keep trucking. Is basically what they say. And when I added the extra details later, I realized I did it in the same color as the text and I didn't intend that. So hey, serendipity. So here's what I have so far for my best book for the month. I do need to pick an April one. The sad part is I can't quite exactly remember what I read this month. So I'm gonna have to kind of go back through and then I fill it out on my bracket and it'll be here for the winner. This is one that I did carry over from last year. Here's all my last year's ones with, you know, all my things, the brackets, and my winner was Legends and Lattes. Here is my word tracker for the writing that I had to finish. I started off at 60K. My goal was 100, and down here I wrote my daily word count. And you would think that that was something that was doable, but life sucks. Here's my brain dump, which is mostly just for like marketing things and story ideas. Here is my first quarter cover page. I had a suggested reading just in case I had like a brain fog about what to choose. Didn't do it. My goals really didn't even accomplish anything, but oh well, c'est la vie. Here's January with my daily word count tracker, trying to do a meditator. I did have a huge brain dump for that section though, because I was working on release day stuff. Here are some of the books that I read during the first quarter. So, Heaven's Official Blessing, love the book series. Jujutsu Kaisen, enjoying it, but I don't think I'm going to continue to do pages for it because this one was a meh volume, but I am enjoying the series as a whole. Coyote, which is one of my happy alert finds. It is an adult one. Explicit content. It comes saran wrap. That's how you know it's good. And then I did sort of like my reflections for January for that whole, you know, shebang, but meh, whatever. February, a little bit better with the writing, but not so much. Had a really hard time. I basically just didn't do anything in here. Here are the books that I read in February. I did read a lot more in February. So that was Howl's Moving Castle, Shadows of Kyoshi's. Both of these were audiobooks. And I was actually quite happy with this one. I'm actually going to end up doing a video because the book and the movie are 2 different things and I love them both. Alright, so now here we have quarter 2. So my goals is basically like I just need to get into a routine. I need a routine. I need to stick to it. And finalizing my chaotic planters. Amazon is being a pain in the patookus about the dots of the bullet journal, and I'm like, can you just like not? So here we are in March. It was basically a little bit better in the writing, kind of chaotic. Oops. I basically only read Iron Widow, which was an amazing book. I don't know, it had been on my to-read shelf for forever, but I just did not have it in me to do a lot with this because I was too angry at not being able to figure out how to record and put this down at the same time because like right now, if y'all can see me, I am straddling my camera. Not exactly very good to like cutting and tearing, and I'm just like, yeah, it was terrible. So here I am in April. I do have some more I needed to fill in. I wanted to work more with the content and just be more magical in nature. And here I was just kind of working on some videos because I am desperately trying to get back into the track. But that is it for April. I need to make my May. And then, yeah, there you have it. I'm not going to show you my face because this is several days after I recorded the initial video. So yeah, I look like a hot mess. But if you would like to see more stuff from the bullet journal, please let me know. Be sure to head over to my website so you can follow me on all of my social medias. And be on the lookout for the title release for the third book of A Tale of Blade and Darkness and more information on the Chaotic Lancers. Until then, bye my friends.